I just want to say, hey, everybody, welcome. I want to welcome the ones here on this live coaching session. And I also want to welcome the ones that are looking at the pre-recorded coaching session. Welcome.
Yes.
And this week we are on the throat chakra. We went through the throat chakra, the seat of communication, authenticity, speaking your truth. And I already know that this stuff has shown up for people this week, and I cannot wait to hear about it. But before we get into it, if you guys can just go ahead and place your sacred smoke on your coal. Give y'all a second.
I like the blue that's going on. You see what's going on in the frame?
Oh yeah, I got the blue gone.
Yeah.
I got on blue pants. I got blue in my bracelet.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all rocking the blue.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yes, hunty. Yes, it is.
I got my blue bracelet on too. I'm feeling all indigenous. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So if everybody has done that, then if you can just bow your heads and close your eyes as I go over the prayer. In the realm of the sacred voice, we gather with the fire of truth illuminating our path. May our voices be open vessels of wisdom, power, and clarity. As we journey through the throat chakra, we will release fear that silences us. We will embrace the truth of who we are, bold, free, and apologetically ourselves. Let our words be spells of healing. Let our voices carry the echoes of our healed ancestors. As we release hesitation, we claim our divine expression. We stand in power, unshaken, unafraid. Ashe, Aho.
Ashe, Aho. Yes.
Okay. So, can I just get, just a couple people just volunteer on how their week went?
It's been an interesting week. I think I expected it to go I think I had expectations this week, and that's why it didn't go how I thought it would go. Because I knew that I would needed to work on my throat chakra. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have these conversations, I'm gonna do this and that. And it was like, girl, maybe not. Maybe not fully that.
Maybe not.
Maybe not the way I thought. I'll say that. Maybe not the way I thought.
Okay.
But I'll say there's been two different things that I've been battling this week. Not battling, but just two different things that I've experienced this week. One of them is a good thing. I've kind of mentioned before how I've been kind of torn between different opportunities and just really wanting to speak up about what I want and getting it. And so I have a job opportunity, which I've accepted. So I've been moving. And for me, that was like a big step because I'm like, I always wanted to be in LA and like I'm here, so why would I leave? But I know I'm being called there to do some work there. But it was important for me for the situation to look how I wanted it to look, how I wanted it to be. And that when it comes to pay, the benefits, just everything, what that looks like. Because I am uprooting,
Right.
Yes.
And I vocalized that very clearly this week. And I'm like, I have to stand up for myself and what I want and stand strong in that.
Yes.
I feel nervous to just speak my truth. So I did, and it went really well, and I felt very empowered by that. And I'm like, this is a new step. And the breakthrough I had weeks ago was just the whole darkness thing I mentioned.
Yes.
That was with that. And once I realized it, I'm like, okay, that blockage is gone. So now now that you know that's what it is, you need to speak up about it and like be very clear on what you want. So there's that.
Woo, man, that's
Exciting stuff.
I just had a quick little praise break in my mind. You didn't hear the organs or nothing, but it was yeah, it was jumping off. It dang, dang, dang,
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I really see me creatively thriving and just being able to do what I envision for myself, you know, outside of this, anybody else, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But then I mentioned last week about my friend that was getting engaged,
Yes.
and the whole communication this week, that's really where it's been at, because that's something important to me, a good friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've just felt away all week.
Mm.
And I've felt like how I expected someone to communicate with me, they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I was at the downfall of that because I wasn't communicated with effectively to begin with. So now I'm potentially missing out on something, or it's going to be a miscommunication on somebody else's end because it wasn't communicated to me well. And I was feeling left out. I just felt so many emotions, and I realized that was a little bit of my ego, but also too
Mm-hmm.
trying to. I had to realize that I had to speak up about the fact that this is convenient for you, but not convenient for me.
Mhm.
And
Right.
that's okay, and just establish those boundaries and not feel bad about it. And I've been struggling with it. And I think it's also too, I feel like I could be losing my friend. Not, it doesn't necessarily have to do with the wedding, but more so of the fact that I told you she's very religious. So
Right.
for me, it's like this is another step where I'm like, okay, this is us being further apart. I'm saying a whole bunch, but I'm just like, these are the things that I noticed this week that have made me feel a way and wanting to speak up about it. Um, so yeah, I don't really know all the way what that is, any of that I just said, but I thought it would be worth sharing. Maybe if I say it out loud, it'll help me figure out what I'm even talking about.
Yeah. So I'll just say this because I appreciate you sharing first and
Mhm.
foremost. You've been getting a lot of congratulations in the
Oh,
chat.
thank you. Thank
And
We
you.
wanted
so
to say congratulations as
yes,
well.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll just say this that first and foremost, being able to speak up for yourself as it relates to your equity, your value, and your worth. This goes for everyone, including myself. Never be ashamed. Feel stressed when you know the value, the equity, and the worth that you bring to any situation, right? That value. Yeah, speak that out proudly.
Mhm.
But then also, secondly, the thing that hit me in a good way, right, is as it relates to your friend, uh, as you are growing spiritually, especially, vibrations and frequencies change.
I feel like I'm fighting that.
Yeah. And as you elevate, if friend is not in alignment with her own level of growth, that keeps her in the vicinity within your gravitational pull, the relationship's gravitational pull to keep her in the circumference of your world and your galaxy, that just means that you're actually growing apart.
Mhm.
And watch this. When you are growing, people are going to fall off and fall away. Isolation is going to take place because there are things that you need to have delivered to you, instilled in you in order to sustain you in regards to where you're going.
Yeah.
And guess what? There'll be some new
Mhm.
relationships that will show up. So in the interim of you going through all of this, it could feel like, a battle. It feels
Yeah.
very uncomfortable. But in the totality of things, it's beautiful
Mhm.
because that's just the way that it works.
Different people, well, I'll just say that not just different people, just people in general, period.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a relationship
Mm-hmm.
with someone,
Mm-hmm.
whether I'm not talking about just somebody just say hey to on the street, like if you have a friendship, if you have a relationship, like you've had some kind of contract, spiritual contract with that person, that is considered a soulmate. Soulmates are not just like boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and
Lovers.
wife, lover, right? It's not just that. A soulmate is someone that you make a soul contract with to help you upgrade your soul, to help you up level your soul. And that could easily be with them being a villain in your life. Y'all could have made that contract for the person to be a villain in your life. It could be somebody that could literally help raise you up. It's a lot of different ones.
That's good.
You go.
That's
When I
good
say
because
you
I also
going
feel like
there,
it's the
you
relationship.
going there, and that's a beautiful. It is. Ooh, man.
I'm glad you said that though, because I feel like as much as I want to hold on to it, I know it's holding me back, and I don't think. Yeah.
And so some friends are meant to be lifetime. Some friends are not meant to be lifetime. But you have to know if you are going around in a loop, which is something that you don't want to go around in, because when you go around in a loop, you're going around in circles. Who the hell want to do that? You're not going nowhere. You're going in circles. You want to move upwards in a spiral motion. That is ascension. And if you are moving upwards in a spiral and that person is going in circles and y'all are holding hands, what you think gonna happen? And so if a person decides to hold on too long and get caught up in that circle, then that's where they'll stay too. You know what I mean? That's where they will stay also. You have to be willing to elevate, to rise, to do what you're supposed to do. Now, if that friend is supposed to be for a lifetime, that friend will come back around, especially if it's something like spirituality and religion, right? Because it really shouldn't be versus anyway, because we were spirit beings before any bodies were created in the first place. Spiritual beings. Religion talks about spirituality, they just don't look at it like that. So a lot of times they're talking about the same thing in different time frames, different terminology. Some things were written on stone 30,000 years ago that have little remnants of the Bible in it. That's a little over 3,000 years ago. So things change throughout time, but people don't understand that. And you never know, you may not be vibrating on someone's frequency at one time and y'all separate, and then next thing you know, it comes back around. You will know, especially if you're doing your work, if this is a counterfeit showing up or if the reconnection should be there, right? You'll understand that. But thank you. I appreciate you for telling that story.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was deep.
Yeah. Anybody else before we get into the get all?
I'll share.
Okay.
So I literally just said, I made my call for the conversation I was supposed to have, which ended up being 2 calls. But I had expectations on how that was going to show up. Like, I didn't necessarily, I just expected them to be quiet. But they told me I was wrong. They didn't do that. I got them confused, am I sure? So, yeah, and that, it made me feel some kind of way. But I was like, it don't matter how you feel and what you believe and, all the things that he was saying. I was like, I don't care. This is about me and how what you did made me feel and how I looked at myself and how I viewed how I could express myself in my body. Because I was not even quite a teenager, not even having sex. And so, yeah, that was that was interesting because I wasn't expecting to feel like that. But then when I got off the phone and talked it over with one of the Spear fam, I was like, I had expectations and I should have never gone in that having expectations of how it was going to go and how that was going to be received. It was okay because I had already stepped into using my throat chakra in ceremony this weekend. So,
Yes.
yeah, and the week didn't start off like that. Like, I was like, oh, I was so happy on Monday. It was a good day. I did my mirror work and then I felt powerful. And I was like, let's see how the rest of the week go. Not even 24 good hours later. I was kicking and screaming in the house on the couch, like, what the F is this? And whew, man, I had to fight to get through this week. But also in going through that, I cried out to the universe some things. And in the midst of crying out, I and being, because I know I was feeling low vibrational. In the midst of that, after it was good 6, 8 hours, I don't know. I was like, you gotta get out of here. Because you can't stay here. This ain't where I'm supposed to be. So even in that, using my throat chakra to cry out to the universe into that low energy, like you gotta go. Because this ain't that. I done put in too much work for this to be that. I was like, even though I feel how I feel, this ain't about to be what this is gonna be. You ain't about to drag me through this week. So I think that me saying that out loud kind of got the ball rolling for me to move in the way I was supposed to move. And it's been a beautiful journey since then. Even in the phone calls, just a little bit about that. Like it was my brother's best friend that I was calling, but in order to get his number, I had to call my brother. And even in that conversation, like some things my brother was saying to me, and I said, you must not remember. And he was like, he didn't know what I was talking about. So I was like, well, I'm about to tell you something, and I'm only telling you because you don't remember. Because I didn't want him to feel, upset or any type of way. But I told him and he received that. So even in that, talking to my brother, he was like, I understand. And I was like, thank you for hearing me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And thank you for, giving me the information I needed so I could make the other phone call. So
yeah.
That was brave.
Yes.
It's interesting because I was like, I'll just wait till I go back and make my call, even though I know I'm supposed to make it this week. And Spirit was like, no, you're in the best place to make it right now. Do it now. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and do it then. Because it's about me standing in my authenticity and using my voice and knowing that regardless of what it makes them feel like, this is about me and knowing that my voice is heard, even though if they don't receive it in that moment.
I'll definitely say that when someone has moved in a negative way and they haven't been doing the work themselves to hold themselves accountable, to forgive themselves, to really assess some of the reasoning to get to the root cause of why it is they were moving, how they were moving to kind of cause whatever negative effects on other people, then the normal response is going to be like a wolf in sheep's clothing being unclothed and exposed, right? The wolf underneath the sheep's clothing, when you pull that sheep fur off, right? That sheep wool, wolf's like, what? Who, me? I don't know. What you talking about? And that's the normal response.
Or either they're gonna attack your ass. One or the other.
Right. Or they gonna get real upset and this beat is and whatever that. Now you want some BS and blah blah blah, and that now it's like, you know, it's some violence or the projection of violence and anger.
First of all, we do what's taught.
Mm-hmm.
It be other people's signatures that be moving people like puppet strings, and they don't even realize it. And so, just say that happened to him.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't speak up, but he out there doing it to others. So all he know is secret.
Right, hiding.
Why would you reveal?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
When you are constantly still hiding yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
And I'd also like to say that kudos to your brother for two reasons for sure. One, for hearing you, but then taking it a step further and supporting you.
Mm-hmm.
That is courageous and that is love. Hey, I didn't know about this, but since you coming to me with it right now, even though that was my friend or is my friend, here go this number.
At some point, if this was done, at some point he is going to not only remember it, he's going to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. You
Yeah.
cannot get away from universal laws.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
You cannot.
Oh,
So,
man.
you know, we can want, you know, somebody to get some get back. It don't matter what we want. What matters is what's already just gonna happen.
Yeah, that was the
Just,
universe's way of giving him
you
an
know.
opportunity to step forward and to free himself. It really was an opportunity.
It's what we're talking about
Yeah.
tonight.
Yes.
Masks.
Ooh, wait.
Masks. Masking your throat chakra.
Mm.
So here's the thing. I am asking you guys, what mask did you wear, you know, in your life when there was a situation that arose in your life where you should have spoken up, but you didn't? Tell a quick story about a time in your life where that happened, and we will decide what mask you're wearing. The different masks are, okay, the mask of avoidance, pretending not to notice in order to avoid speaking your truth. The mask of busyness, which says I'm too busy to speak up, but underneath is fear of rejection, judgment, or conflict. It's a coping mechanism, right? Avoiding discomfort. Was it the mask of accommodation, prioritizing others' comfort over their own authentic voice? Was it the mask of people pleasing, pretending to agree to avoid conflict? Was it the mask of perfectionism, hiding behind high standards to avoid speaking up? Or was it the mask of fear, hiding behind anxiety or intimidation? Okay, so we'll go over those again. But I should have made somebody raise their hand first, because I want to know who gonna not raise their hand. Or I'm just gonna have to choose some of y'all.
Yeah, you about that life right now.
Who want to go first, or am I gonna have to choose? Because if I have to choose, I'm gonna start choosing.
I'm like all in this area over here, but I'm not gonna say anything. But I'm me personally.
Okay,
Look.
5, 4, 3.
I'll go.
You know
Okay,
what? You was gonna
okay.
be the name I was gonna call,
Okay,
though.
yeah, you on the opposite side. I was all the way on the side. Like, okay,
I was gonna call you first.
yeah.
Not you was gonna call me.
Yep. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Valencia.
So when you were saying, like, you know, tell a story or whatever, and just saying the different masks, it was one situation that popped up in mind for me. And I feel like I wore like quite a few masks at the time. When I was younger, I remember
there was a situation with my stepfather. My sister, basically, she had like this little house, and she would like climb up on the house. She was barely walking. She was probably like 1. And I remember I walked in the room, in the house, it was like a house bed, and she had climbed up on the top. And naturally, she's a kid. So I went to grab her again. And as I'm taking her down, my stepdad walked in the room, and he was like furious. He's like, why the F didn't you take her down? Like, she could have hurt herself and da 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 da, not knowing like, okay, this is my second time taking her down. Like, you just so happened to walk in the room in the midst. And so I'm telling him this, and he's like yelling at me. Mind you, I'm like 7. And so by this time, like, I'm like, he's not hearing me. Like, he not hearing me. This is what I'm thinking. So I just shut down and didn't say anything. So to have somebody continue to yell at you, even after like you're trying to tell them like what's going on, they're not hearing you. So I just started crying. And I remember my mom came around the corner, and she like, what's wrong? And at one point it got physical with him and me. He pretended as if he was trying to show me how to take her down, but I'm a kid. Like, you damn near about to snatch my fucking arm out the socket. And so I remember like looking at my mom like you just gonna let that shit happen? Like, I was angry, but I didn't say anything to her. So from there, it went to like, I went to my dad's house. And my dad was just that person, like, he knew when something was wrong with me. Like, I didn't have to say anything. Like, I was just quiet. And my daddy looked at me. He was like, what the fuck wrong with you? And I just busted out crying. And it was like this whole thing. And my dad was like, you coming to stay with me? And I remember going back to my mom's, and my stepdad was like, well, if you go live with your dad, you won't be able to see your little sister anymore. Like, he knew that was important to me. And I'm 7. So it's like, now I'm experiencing manipulation. Like, I don't want to be here because I don't feel safe. I want to be over here. But now you're telling me, like, if I make this decision, like, you're taking something from me. So when they got together as adults, I ended up saying that I wanted to stay with my mom, even though that's not what I really wanted. Like, and I remember just being heartbroken because I felt like I had to make a big decision at that age. And I remember just like years later, after everything, having a conversation with my dad, and he was like, what really happened? Because you never told me what happened. Like, I know how you didn't feel safe there and stuff. And so I ended up telling him, and he was like, I wish you would have just told me back then. But I was so worried about it being more like chaos back then, being a kid. Like, I didn't speak up for myself or what I really wanted or feel safe. Like, no, I want to stay with you because I feel safe. But they're telling me like I can't see my sister. Like, so I personally feel like it was a lot of mass there. Like, people pleasing, just a fear of, seeing how somebody was with my mom, thinking like they might actually do some physical harm to me, or I wasn't going to be safe, or, just feeling like I had a responsibility to somebody else over myself and what I wanted. So yeah, that's my short story.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a few masks. Also, accommodation, right? Accommodating others. So if you were angry at your mom at that age for something like that, you were angry at her, like that anger held on for years and years and years.
A very long time.
Yeah. Something like that. Like, that was a signature.
Major.
That's written and that can get triggered with the quickness.
Since I was 4. Yes.
See, so it's even before then. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a few different masks. It's something when you talk about a story like that and you're actually able to put a mask to it. You know what I mean? It helps you look at it from a different perspective. Thank you for that.
Yes, thank you for sharing
that.
Yeah. Cool, man.
I would like for you to raise your hand if You knew you were supposed to have a conversation this week and you had a conversation this week. Okay.
So,
Amanda, you looking confused.
yeah, you looking like, what the hell she say?
I didn't hear what you said. I didn't hear the
Said,
question.
raise your hand if you knew that you were supposed to have a conversation with someone and you had the conversation with them this week. The truthful conversation.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Okay.
So who didn't have the conversation this week?
I didn't have one of the ones I wanted to have.
But you
Okay.
did have a conversation this week with someone that you knew you were supposed to have a conversation with.
Kinda. I didn't really get to fully do it, so I don't know if it counts all the way.
Okay.
You got let me ask you, you got the ball rolling?
Got the ball rolling. That's true.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you got the ball rolling.
Okay.
Serena, is it a reason why that you didn't have a conversation with somebody, or you couldn't think of somebody to have a conversation with, or what?
I couldn't think of who to have a conversation with. First of all, good evening. Sorry, everybody, good evening. I could not think of who to have a conversation with. It seems like my conversation should probably be with everybody because I always, it's just a fear of conflict when I speak with people. So pretty much like a friend of mine. Now, I've tried calling her. Now, there's one person that I can think of that I should have had a conversation with. But each time I called her, I didn't get an answer. And just to think, we just started speaking recently for over a year. And I think I put this in my work assignment. I'm sorry, I was late on my work assignment this week too.
Oh, that's okay.
It's okay.
But here, well, I've known her since I was in the 9th grade. And my friend always have to be like the center of attention, you know. It could be anything. Everything has to be about her. It has to be surrounded about her. She takes over the conversation. I can be on the phone. We could be on the phone for 2 hours. I probably get 5 minutes to speak. She often throws the guilt trip. And I just sit back. I don't say anything. I just feel like sometimes it's easier just not to say anything, just to agree. And I know that's a fault in me. So, like Valencia said, I feel like I have a lot of masks too. You know, I fear conflict. I fear, you know, what others' opinions might be, her opinion, because she matters to me. She's a friend. So I should have had the conversation with her, but she didn't answer the phone. So she didn't answer the phone. I mean, you know, but speaking with her, and I love her dearly, but a lot of times when I get off the phone with her, I feel drained.
Yeah, it's taxing.
It is very taxing. Like I could be in a good mood before we get on the phone, but by the time I get off the phone with her, I just feel like I'm exhausted. Like, you know, it's like she makes me feel guilty. Like it's always something going on with her. It's always something going on with her. You know, where there's something that she needs, something that's going on at her job. If I offer suggestions, she will knock them down. So my point today was to have a conversation with her to let her know. And we had this conversation several times. So I don't even know that it works because it's she won't take constructive criticism. So pretty much I just agree with everything she does. If I know she's wrong, I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, you were right, you know, and that's wrong on my part. I just feel like I'm being silenced because feel like if I tell her my true feelings, she's gonna knock it down. We're gonna get into an argument, you know. So I knew she was going through a lot of things. Look, I'm reaching out just to see if you're okay. Of course, when she called me finally, she's crying and it's just everything from A to Z. I get off the phone with her, I am literally drained. Last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, my sister's father passed away. She called because now she's about to lose her apartment, wherever she's staying at. She has to leave. She has nowhere to go. She needs money. So this is something that I always get to. But when she called, I couldn't answer because I'm talking to my sister. She just lost her father.
Mm-hmm.
When I explained to her, look, I'm talking to my sister. Give me a few minutes. I will call you back. I've been calling her ever since. I haven't heard from her. So I'm kind of done with her. I wanted to have that conversation with her. I've had this conversation with her several times about, you never listen to nobody. It's me always listening to you. You never take constructive criticism. Here's some suggestions where you can help yourself so you don't have to ask other people to help you. You grown. I haven't heard from her. So if I would have had a conversation with somebody this week, it would have been her, but she didn't answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So I'm sorry. I know that was all over the place with that,
No,
but
actually, it wasn't all over the place at all.
It wasn't. Some people, things happen to them as a child, and when those things happen to that person as a child, it makes them not want to be seen. Right?
Mm.
So when they don't want to be seen, they may pick up weight. They may wear big clothes. They may, stay in the house all the time. They may become an introvert, not really want to speak to people or have relationships, like those kinds of things. And then it's some things that happen to children where they want to be seen and they're not being seen and they're being neglected. And so those are the people that can move in having a victim mentality and wanting to be seen and wanting to be the life of the party, because they've been so neglected and not given what they felt like, that they needed, that they feel like that they're going to take it. And that's kind of what it seems like for me. Of course, you're going to be drained when she unloaded on you, like everything that she needed to say is like she literally unloaded on you and you was getting hit from here, hit from there. She's hitting your heart chakra. She's hitting a lot of different things. And it seems like when you called back, you was reminded why you stopped talking in the first place.
Yes.
Very first phone call. Mm-hmm. And that's what I was talking about when it comes to going around in circles with somebody and you really recognizing when you have to jump out that loop.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it sounds like. At the same time, apparently it's still no love lost because of the simple fact that you wanted to reach out to her because you have lost so many in the first place. Mm-hmm. But as you can see, it's not a good thing for something like that to happen and you close your throat chakra because of being afraid of what somebody gonna say or how somebody's gonna react, because whose throat chakra is closed up? Theirs ain't. She using her overactive.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
I read that in the worksheet too about people having, and she's overactive. Like she never shuts up. It's all about her, and she's always the victim. So yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and that's another thing that's taught from a childhood. So she's walking around with those signatures, and those signatures got her moving like a puppet, and she don't even realize it, and she don't want to have accountability when it's brought to her. She's wearing a lot of masks, so you're not the only one that feel like you wearing masks. She's also wearing masks, the mask of busyness.
I agree.
You know what I mean? In order to avoid a situation, busy,
Yeah.
right? Because when you're busy, you really cannot focus on the thing that you really need to sit down and focus on, especially inner work.
Her ego is riding her ass like a prize championship thoroughbred racehorse.
Yeah.
It's me, I, girl, well, my, me, I.
Mhm.
And what I envisioned is this, as it relates to you, Serena, you being the friend and your friend actually literally bringing you clothes. Here's a hat to wear. Here's a purse. Hold this purse for me. Put this coat on. Now I got a sweater. I'm gonna put the sweater on top of this coat. Oh, I got a baseball cap on top of this hat. I'm gonna give you that. I'm gonna give you this pack of gum. Hold this pack of gum. I'm giving you these shoes. Put these shoes on. I got 5 packs of socks. I'm giving you all of this. Now watch this. Then
Wow.
when she's in trouble, I need you to dig in your purse, not all of the purses that I gave you, but I need you to dig in your purse. I need you to give me some money because I heard what you said, but I wasn't listening, but I still need your help. So figure out how to help me after I dumped all of this shit on you.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
about accurate?
Yes.
Okay. So then if you were to see someone, not yourself, but if you were to see someone else have somebody unload and clothe them with actually clothes that wasn't even really nice and fly to begin with, and they getting draped a million times over with all of these garments and all these different things and all this extra stuff and all this trash and all this stuff, how would you look at the person that was getting clothed and they like, I don't feel like I should really say something? You'll be like, something's wrong there.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Now, here's the thing. You already know it's unhealthy because every time you interact and engage, your disposition and your energy is way off. You're off kilter and you're not better.
Right.
You're worse.
Yeah.
So, in essence, if your friend isn't picking up the phone and I'm going to say it, in order for you to be healthy, in order for you to maintain the level of freedom and liberty and sustainability and homeostasis and balance that you have to walk in for yourself and for your life, some things have to be done. And whether or not your friend picks up the phone or not, you might want to unload on her in a beautiful text. You might want to send her the longest email that you possibly could about everything that you feel, felt, and know. You need to now unload and dump and clear yourself of all of the energy and all of the things that you have experienced. But watch this, Serena, do that in love.
Okay.
I'm doing this in love. I'm not doing it with malice. I'm not doing it as a get back. I'm not doing it to get my lick in. I'm doing this because this is the final conversation, level of communication, interaction, and activity and engagement that I'm ever going to have with you, unless I can see that you elevated the same way that I'm elevating. See, it's about people being in your galaxy, within that gravitational pull, within your solar system. Because we all have the power to make what? A decision. And those decisions that we make are extremely important. It's more healthy. I'm just telling you flat out. It's more healthier for you to cut that relationship loose. You're going to be so much more happier and you're going to be so much more free. Your mind ain't going to be cluttered with all of her stuff. You can get to your stuff.
Exactly.
And prioritize your stuff. Okay?
Thank you. I need that. Thank you.
Yeah, that was so good. How many of us, if we grew up really knowing about these chakras, right? If we really grew up knowing that not speaking your truth can show up with problems in your respiratory system. If you knew that this could cause problems in your thyroid gland.
Oh my God.
That's me. I have thyroid issues.
See?
I just last April, I had to take it was like a radioactive medicine that they had to give me. So now I'm taking medicine for the rest of my life. And actually, Saniqua made me realize it. She was like, "And is your throat chakra?" I'm like, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that because I'm always silencing myself.
Yeah.
or I don't speak up when I should, or even if I'm at work, and it'd be so much conflict at work. I'm gonna sit back. I'm not getting involved because it's too, like you said, taxing. It's too stressful, and I don't want to bring that stuff home. So I need to have this
Yes.
conversation with several people.
You didn't hear my wife, Serena.
What's that?
I said, but you are bringing it home.
You're
Take it
right.
back where you go.
Yes, I am, because I'm thinking about it every day. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
Woo, man. Damn.
Okay.
Yes. That was.
So-
Whew. Did you see her eyes?
I sure did.
Hi, Amanda. Hey, Tom.
Hey,
What
y'all.
up, though?
Hey,
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. What up? Yeah. Okay.
So let's talk a little bit about the conversation that you had this week. Did you speak from your heart? Did you listen with your heart?
I listened with something. It was a lot.
Yeah.
You said you listened with something. You remember last week when you just could not free your heart. So
Yeah.
and I listened to this week talking about you can't even say heart. I listened with something.
As much as I talk and can express myself, you'd be surprised at the stuff you really don't be saying.
Wow.
I pride myself on speaking my truth, right? And then when it's time to speak it, it depends on who I'm facing. I'm like, oh, and it was very difficult. And actually, it hit me, I want to say yesterday. I had to have 3 conversations that were very, very difficult.
Ooh, 3.
3.
Three
And
yesterday?
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. That's
yeah. My sister was one. Tonka was the other one. And Kurt was the other one. My sister doesn't have any children. So what I realized about my sister, she's not married, so she's single. But when I was younger and my children were younger, when I would need a babysitter, I wasn't one of those people who would let my children be with anybody if they were not with somebody that I knew was good. I felt comfortable.
Yes.
But every time I needed my sister to keep my children, she would tell me no. I ain't keeping no kids. I ain't had none for a reason. I ain't keeping your kids. So I was be like, okay. Or if I say, let me hold a couple of dollars. I ain't giving nobody no money. I don't believe in loaning nobody no money. Okay. It was always something with her, right? So I realized lately she asked me for a lot of stuff, right? And in my heart, part of me didn't really want to give it to her because she didn't help me. But then the other part was, and my sister has this thing where she got I can't do's. If you need a little extra money, oh, I can't do that. Or Tony, you thought about, oh, I can't do that. But she can call and ask you for what you're working hard for, right? So she asked me for some money and she gave me an amount. And I told her, oh, I can't do that. She said, well, anything you can come close. And I said, oh, I can't even come close to that. I said, because I don't put restrictions on what I need to do. If I don't have it over here, if I can't get it from over there, I make it happen. It's just, I believe it's all about when you're running your business. I never see the glass empty. I always try to figure out a way to how to fill it. So it was very difficult for me and I couldn't figure out my root. Why? Like, why I don't want to help her? Like, why? And why I don't want to tell her I don't want to help her. I couldn't understand what was my issue, why I just couldn't tell my sister, nigga, no. I couldn't do it. So I got all choked up. And then Tonka went to see his mother. And nothing bad happened. Nothing. But because I couldn't speak my truth to my sister, other stuff started coming up. I want to tell him how I feel about something, but I'm using that I'm afraid of how it's going to make him feel. But really, I'm afraid. And I couldn't figure out what the heck am I afraid of? Like, I can't consciously think anything I'm actually scared of. Like, if we throw down, we throw down. If we say some words, we're gonna say some words. I ain't scared to take a punch, I ain't scared to give one. But just don't hit me in my face, because that don't feel right. But I'm just saying, I don't have a problem getting with it, you know? And then I have a conversation with Kurt, and I just couldn't speak how I felt. And then I got on the phone and I was ranting with my auntie, and I started just going. But I'm not telling the people, the person, right? And then I finally got myself together, and I text my sister. I didn't verbally call her, but I text her a long, super long, forever text, right? And I just knew she was gonna cuss, not really cuss me out, but make me feel bad about it. And her response was, I can dig it. And I was like, damn, that was easy in the mug. I've been holding this shit in all this time. I should have told your ass 2 months ago. And then when it came to Tonk, I think that was a whole showdown. Because I think I cried for about, 15 minutes? I cried like a newborn baby. And it all came down. All the words I could come up with was, I'm just scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared, and I'm scared to trust again. I'm scared to tell you how I really feel, because what's the point? I'm scared, and I'm holding on to this, because if you fuck up, I gotta back up, because it ain't nothing like falling and you ain't got no fucking parachute. We done did that. Like, that shit don't feel good, especially when you don't got it. And then you look at each other and you say, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? No, ain't nobody got no solutions. We just gonna sit. No, I do not like not having resolution. That don't work for me. So I don't do well with I don't knows. Figure some shit out. Even if you figure wrong, let's figure something out.
Right.
So when I had to tell that truth, and he's saying, I'm doing everything I can to make you happy. And if you ain't happy, we got a problem.
Yeah.
And I said, it ain't about you. I am coming unglued with all my bullshit. And I'm scared, because I don't know who the fuck it is under there. I have no clue. And so what am I getting ready to look like? I ain't ready to face it. And that's it.
Okay. You want to speak to that, or you want me to speak to that first? Well, first I want to say that I'm proud of you for being who you always are. In the end, it's authentic and honest. It is scary. Evolution is scary, because how you showed up for people yesterday, and because they're not you and you're evolving, it doesn't matter if they're holding on to the older version of you. If they resonate with your ascension and your evolution, they'll be more than happy to be introduced to the new you and get to know the new you, as you learn how to get to know and learn the new you.
Right.
But because you're in a marriage, you're married, you're in agreement. You communicating to each other is going to help the evolution in the most positive way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it's gonna be a million times where y'all ain't got the answers. Shh, what? And because you've come into agreement, the societal perception is y'all supposed to be one, and y'all supposed to be in agreement, and y'all supposed to be moving as one. But in the same breath, you're two individuals moving as one. You're two independent individuals that said, I'm in agreement. You're both evolving or not evolving in different aspects of your life at different times. And nobody gave us the handbook to that shit. Nobody. You're in your ascension journey, both of you. And this is the beautiful, listen, I'm going to say this because I'm appreciative and I have a whole lot of gratitude for now living in a neighborhood that has a gardening club, and we're in it. Because I have had the opportunity to see what replanting looks like, what it feels like. Some stuff that's been harvested to the hilt, like ain't nothing else to yield from the harvest. And then there's some stuff people was just like not gravitating towards, and they just left it there like, you know what I'm saying, ignored it. But it's time to pull all of that up. It's time to pull it up. And now it's time for you to replant. And some seeds, when you put in the ground, it's only going to take a couple of weeks for it to grow.
A lot of those seeds that you planted that last season is not going to grow in that new season. It's in a different climate. So now you have to plant
what's appropriate,
what's in season.
Yeah.
What season are you in your life? What are you trying to grow in your life? What seeds are you planting in your life right now in this season? Like, do that make sense, y'all?
Yeah. This is the bloodstream. This is the heartbeat of what it takes in order to have a successful relationship. Throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra. Got to be able to communicate.
Now, can I speak to that?
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting that you said that because talking our conversation was again about the salon, right? So I'm saying, Tonka says, I still don't want this person to do the work. Tell me your why. Okay. He tells me his why, listen to his why. And then he said, he hears my view, right? And then he says, okay, then we're just gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna give you what you want. But I can't take you giving me what I want looking at you not being happy. Because now you're saying, take this so that you're happy, so I don't have to deal with you later not being happy with me just taking it away. Why can't we deal with your disdain for this person or another resolution that is going to be comparable to where we are financially right now? What does that look like to you? Because you know what this really is. Right. And I'm still pushing up against how you feel. I got a problem that you can't move how you feel out the way to manifest, because it didn't show up the way we thought it was going to show up. But it's here.
Right.
Why can't we unpack this now so we can get that later? And that's where I still feel that he holds back his I don't know if it's holding back because your feelings are in the way. You don't want to, because you want to put your foot down and tell me this is what I said, is what you're not gonna do. And you know that don't work too well for the kid over here, because I don't do no can't do's and what you better not do, because last I checked, we both grown. But I'm not above having a conversation, communicating and compromising. But I want to be just as fair. I want to meet you halfway. What do we do?
Okay, so I'm going to keep it a buck. Tonka, I'd like for you to look at the screen and look at me, bro. We love y'all. What I'm hearing your wife say is, this is me hearing, this is my hearing, this is what I'm hearing. My husband's ego is in the way. This is how I'm hearing it.
All right.
That's why I'm sharing it with you in love.
All right.
And I'll be able to break that down. My husband's ego is in the way, even though it is a very reasonable, painful, right, situation emotionally for someone to go through and deal with. Watch this. Watch this. I mentioned something to you originally, which was how source moves and bring things in a way that we don't expect. I use the term footstool, and what would appear to be and look like an enemy to you literally has all of the potential in the world to be your footstool. And this is why I led with the term ego. Pride, ego, manhood, feelings, emotions. All of those things are valid, but also on a surface level, it has no depth as it relates to the total outcome that you can receive if you see it and change the lenses in which you're looking at what you're looking at, right? What you're looking at. If you put on a different pair of glasses and it gives you a different vision and you go, oh my gosh, I can see this much, much clearer. What I thought was my enemy is really my footstool. And this footstool has all of the potential, all of the features in order to bring about the outcome that my wife and I really are on board with. Overall, if you took how the footstool was painted, the material that the footstool was made of, and if it was a different footstool that had all of the features and benefits and skill sets, you would take it. But because it's that footstool, you like, nope, I'll create a whole nother footstool. Or are you saying you'll create a whole other footstool? I also heard your wife say, I need my husband to then maybe come with a comparable option that would still allow us to remain to be on the same page and be in agreement with each other to reach a common goal. Am I following this correctly or not?
Yeah, you're following.
I'm following it. So now, Tunk, with that being said, it is a matter of this, and you can answer that question or not. Is it that you're unable to literally push your pride aside, to literally command your ego to get out of the way and to not have its place, and to bridle your emotions and ride your emotions as opposed to your emotions riding you, and also being able to see the horizon, the total sum, and the outcome that both you and your wife can obtain? And are you willing to admit that the footstool that is there presently in both of your lives able to create the outcome in which you and your wife would be happy with?
It's not an ego thing. This ain't got nothing to do with ego.
Okay.
None of it is.
Okay.
It might have been. I ain't even gonna say might have. It was. But I think at this point, like I told Amanda, if I don't like the way you do business and the way you move, you can't come in my world. And that's just plain and simple for me. But at the end of the day, there is no compromise, because either she gets what she wants or I get what I want. So at the end of the day, like she said, I would rather give her what she wants, because it's easier in the long run for me. So at this point, yeah, she can have what she wants. But I feel the way I feel. It ain't got nothing to do with ego. It has everything to the way that people move. If put like this, if you smoke crack and I don't smoke crack, I don't want to hang out with you because you're a crackhead.
Right.
I'm
I
not
get
gonna let you in my space because you're a crackhead. But if she has a heart for crackheads and want to help crackheads and want to bring crackheads out of being crackheads, I can't stop her. You know, Amanda loves people. She loves to help people. She loves it. Plus, this person, as you say, got skill set that she wants. So she win-win on both ends. But for me, the skill set don't mean anything because everything you have, I can go get myself. I've
Okay.
always been that way.
Okay. So I want you to look at your wife right now. I want you to look over to your wife if you can, just real quick. Do you see her reaction to what it is that you're saying? Because I don't live with you.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm not married to you. But your wife gave a look like Tonka.
Like I said, in the end, I'm not going to win this conversation. It's always going to be my ego. Everybody sees it that way, but nobody sees it the way that I said it is, which is, like I said, you a crackhead. I don't want you in my space. I don't give a shit what you bring over here.
Mhm.
I don't care what you bring.
Right.
What you do in your life, I don't want in my life.
Can I say something?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The ego is the I of the self.
Mm-hmm.
I am Tonka. I feel like this because of that.
Mm-hmm.
That is the ego. I'm a black man. I'm a married. That's how you identify yourself. Your ego is the suit that your soul is attached to right now. And anytime you speak from that attachment, that is ego. Okay. Also, the main chakra that is connected to the throat is the heart. And how whatever your heart is abundant in is what your mouth is going to speak out loud.
For sure. Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
So you're speaking from what is abundant in your heart, regardless of who take whatever, how they take whatever. That's why we say the conversation should be a conversation. Conversation is speaking from the heart, also listening from the heart.
We've had that conversation on Wednesday. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You ain't gotta apologize. Not holding on to what somebody said and can't wait to respond or even cutting them off. Conversations, true, loving conversations can take a while because a person can be talking for 10 minutes straight. And if you truly, truly, truly listen from your heart, not saying, oh, I got to remember that they have said this, so I can address that. And I got to get to this point. Then you said this, then you said that, instead of just listening to everything that the person, says. People call me all the time. All the time. I ask a lot of questions. When they call me, I ask questions. And then I also listen. Sometimes they can be talking forever. And I'm just sitting there and I'm just listening to everything that they say. Or if I have a conversation with somebody, I can say, okay, so listen, before we have this conversation, I just want to say this. I'm going to let you say everything that you feel like you need to say. I'm not going to cut you off. I'm going to listen to everything. But when it's time for me to speak, I'm going to need you to do the same thing.
Oh, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And those conversations should definitely go that way. But I just wanted to bring up the whole ego aspect. Have you come up with another solution?
Yeah.
Do you agree with the solution, Amanda?
Thank you, Amanda.
You already said no.
Right, but your name ain't Amanda though.
All right.
There was I have to say this. There was a really good suggestion that came through the chat from Rochelle, and Rochelle said, "Is there a neutral party that can come in between this, like someone that has no, no horse in this race at all?"
Like I told Tonka, I'm not saying his way is not a good way, but is it practical and realistic for where we are financially right now? Right? He's saying, because he went even last night, did some numbers and brought me a figure. Right? And I said to him, do you know the total cost of what the salon needs? Right? So we're not talking about a piece of furniture. We're talking about LED lights being changed, converted over to LED lights. We're talking about strips being replaced, mold being taken out, floors being relayed, toilets need to be replaced. And you got, and how long is that going to manifest? We got to wait, 3-6 months? And remember, the prices of stuff is going up, right? So I'm thinking from a practicality, and I'm not, Tonka's very practical. I'm not taking that away from him, but I'm saying this in this space. It's only because of what happened 8-9 months ago that the resistance is there. You're saying no?
That's not true.
Okay, then if you say it's not
telling you that,
all right,
you're not gonna have to
we can have a discussion because I don't care. I'm real transparent. I don't want to take up no time. But I'm just saying.
Go ahead.
I just want to say that like I said, whatever is abundant in the heart, the mouth will speak. And it's about accountability. It's trust issues. Trust issues. Don't be scrolling your face up at me. Yes.
It's about trust issues with listen, I'm telling you, he's a disrespectful nigga.
But so are you, man.
You're right. I got every reason to disrespect that nigga. Every reason. Every time you come in my space, he disrespectful. So yeah,
so just being in the space is disrespectful.
The last time, come on, man.
Hold on, let me say this, babe. I would love for you guys to listen to me because again, I'm gonna lay this on the floor. I'm gonna lay it on the floor. This right here. If every one of you guys had an intention and a desire to be somewhere, to have something, to possess something that would better your life, and if an individual came into your life that you had something to do with, that now you are totally unhappy about how they presented themselves and how things morphed and created a situation in your life that you don't like, you're unhappy about it, right? But at the same time, you have people that are telling you and that can see, guess what? Just because you planted a seed and the enemy tried to morph and change the structure of this seed and turn it into something vile, I'm telling you that Source has the ability to take what was meant for your bad and turn it into your good, but it's going to require you, because you help create this disdainment that you have. You helped create it. You helped bring it into your life. And if you hold yourself accountable, you release your ego, push your pride aside and go, Source, give me the strength to actually deal with the fact that I did have something to do with this. And then I'm going to leave it in your hands, and I'm going to allow you now to turn this thing into something good for me. Would you be willing to take it and accept it and to watch it unfold, with the knowing that if you take your hands off of it and you move in the right spirit and you don't hold on to no malice, you don't hold on to no violence, you don't hold on to any anger, and you move in love, that you could trust that source, not you, but can you trust that source has the ability to take that thing that looked like it was getting ready to snatch your whole life apart and then turn it around and build your whole life? Has anybody ever heard of a person named Job? I'm just going to ask y'all this question and then I'm done.
That's your favorite story.
Has anybody ever heard of the person named Job?
Uh-huh.
Job actually had a whole lot of things in the beginning of the story and began to question source in a way where source showed up. And when source showed up, source ended up showing out. And what was lost, what was destroyed, what looked like would never be able to return ever, source actually multiplied what it was that was brought and brought Job long life, a life of his children and his children's children loving on him. I mean, and being more blessed than when he started with the seed that he planted by talking and saying the things that he was saying and questioning what he was questioning. Does anybody know about that story for real?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying for Tonka and Amanda right now. I'm saying Tonka go, man, this right here, this ain't even cool. And yeah, I have something to do with it. I'm really trying, I'm struggling with, I'm feeling away. This is why I'm here as his brother to go, I hear you. I hear your heart. I hear everything. But I'm actually able to see outside of the peripheral and your perspective. I'm outside of it. I have a bird's eye view of it. You in the eye of the storm. So it's dust and it's debris and it's all kind of stuff floating around you. You in the center in the storm because you calm, you chill. That's where you are, but you're in the center of the storm. I see outside of the storm. Y'all ever seen a meteorologist show y'all, hey, a tornado getting ready to hit so-and-so, but you can see the whole map of the country? Is this one tornado that's in this one state, but you can see all the other states and everybody doing good? That's what I'm trying to tell my brother. I'm trying to tell him, yo, situation was ugly. It wasn't cool. But at the end of the day, it's not over. It's not done. And actually, it can be a beautiful thing. Allow God to turn your enemy into a footstool.
Can I say something, please? Mm-hmm. Rochelle asked if there was somebody neutral. If the shaman ain't neutral, I don't know who the hell is. I'm just keeping it all the way 100 because I'm not attached to y'all situation in no way, shape, form, or fashion. And I love both of y'all. But I understand a lot of things from different perspectives. Imagine this conversation. God, source, universe. I want this blessing. I want this blessing so bad. I need this blessing. I'm calling in this blessing. But I'm looking at these bridges and I don't know which bridge to walk down. Should I go down that bridge? I can't afford that bridge. Should I go down that bridge? Oh, no. I don't even like who at that bridge. But that's the bridge you're supposed to go to, is what the universe is saying. Not saying that this is what it is. I'm talking about a conversation. You can't bless me like this. I'm attached to how the blessing is supposed to show up. I'm attached. If it don't show up in the present, in the kind of box that I want, with the color bow that I want, then I don't want it. Do you get the blessing? Do you get the blessing? It is about ego. It is about attachment. It is about expectation. You have expectations. You are attached to a situation. Your soul is attached to it. Your whole soul. I'm saying Nigga can't be. That's attached from your soul. You meant that.
Mm-hmm. He's shaking his head, saying, "Hell
Your
yeah, I mean
soul
what I
is
say."
attached to that body that you've been moving your head back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
You feel that. It's about looking at it from a different perspective.
Go ahead.
I'm trying to, but let me ask you this question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Amanda. Do you see the disrespect in the way that he moves?
I don't perceive it the way you do. Okay.
Is it disrespectful?
It depends on how you sit. Let me explain something
All
to
right.
you. Let me hit you with the whole real piece.
We already had this conversation.
Okay, nigga, you brought it up. We're gonna have it again.
I did bring this up.
No,
I
I'm just saying you
nothing.
asked me a question. You said, let me ask you a question. You want me to answer it or not?
Because I thought you was about to ask me a question.
No, I'm good.
Right.
I don't need no
You don't want
questions.
no- okay.
We've been down this road.
You
We've
need
been
a question, but this is the throat chakra week.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And we've had tons of conversations, and each conversation always ends up in the same way. Me looking like my ego is in the way, me looking like if something wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't feel like this, but I still will, because the person is being himself admittedly to her and set it around me. This is who
I don't give two.
I give it. Wait.
Let
You
me
know
say
what?
this.
I'm gonna say this
We're gonna leave
again.
this alone.
I'm just watching how the throat chakra. I'm
Yep.
just watching how the throat chakra showing up with both of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. So here's the thing of it is this. There's a lot of plays in this, right? And I'm going to say this to you. When somebody, and it don't always have to go this way, but this is how it's always manifested in my life. When somebody wants to give you something, what they say, something for nothing, there's always a something. It is up to me to determine if I'm going to receive it. If I'm gonna be, and I ain't never been one shy to express what I will or will not do. I ain't never been a punk in that way, right? So if you bringing this with this, keep it. But if you're bringing it with this, it's well received, right? So, but in that, you can't call somebody disrespectful when you being disrespectful. Not in that way. Not in that way, Tucker. But you don't give.
Did he not disrespect me? Did he not step on the scene and disrespect? Listen,
I'm through.
So did my brother totally walk away?
He talking to himself in the kitchen. He'll be back in a minute.
Yeah.
He's having a
just
chakra
gonna be real.
moment.
This is what happens, and I'm saying this in love. But this is what happens when people are honestly unable to, at the time, to move past their emotions, their feelings, and their pride. And this is how the ego uses things like, this is how you was raised.
Yep. Oh my God.
The ego would tell you, you would never let that slide if it was such and such however much time ago.
Yep.
But you realize that you're actually on an ascension journey. Your trajectory in life is taking you higher from where the hell you were. You're being called higher. So in the essence that you're being called higher, guess what? You busting different moves. Stuff don't even look the same. It don't even sound the same.
Yeah.
And you're okay with releasing things and allowing things to not be held and controlled in your hands, and allow source, the universe, the great spirit, the all, whatever it is you want to call it or not call it, the nothingness, the self, what, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but allowing things to totally unfold, knowing that everything in your life, because I'm gonna be real, when we was in the church, Amanda, we go, my feet is guided, the light is guiding my feet, and everywhere my feet tread, I'm blessed.
Right.
Really?
Right.
Is it really? Because if we really felt like our feet was being guided and it was blessed everywhere our feet tread, then that means sometimes we now move in situations where we're unable to see the total outcome. We just have to know that everything is going to be okay.
Right.
Last week I had, some of y'all say, and you was one of them, You forgive yourself and others, freeing your heart from the weights of the past.
Mhm.
You had an issue with freeing your heart. You could not free your heart for nothing in the world.
You know what was so interesting about that? That next morning, I had a lump in my throat, and I felt like heartburn. And I began to say it, and I began to call the names.
Throat and heart. Didn't I say it was connected?
Mm-hmm. So I began, these images started coming up of all the people, right? And every time I said their name, and then I was able to say the affirmation, and I cried like a baby. And it was about 5 people. And Tonka was one of the 5. And I was telling him, I feel like you're holding me hostage to where you were raised that I am not in agreement with. Because he was raised, if I don't fuck with him, you don't fuck with him. I don't believe that. He said, but you my wife. I don't believe that. You should believe it, but I don't. So now what do we do?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know if my brother can hear me, and I don't know if he's gonna see this later. I don't even know. I really don't know. I'm not gonna make any assumptions.
He right here.
Okay, good. Again, Tonka, we love you. And the reason why this conversation is being had, because it's meant to be had. And the reason why it's meant to be had is because this is your opportunity for you to be set free from what's holding you back. And literally, the thing that could bless you and your wife, you have a part to play in this. It's a real big part that you're playing in your blessing for you and your family. And as someone who is understanding, because I know you in these sessions and you own these Zooms willingly. You wouldn't even allow nobody to push you to do this. I already know who you are enough in that sense to know. So you consciously, intentionally made the decision, knowingly that you are now moving through a spiritual journey and you are ascending. Mm-hmm. It is the hard thing that all of us at some point, as we're on our journey, we have to confront, deal with, and face things, issues, and people, circumstances that does not feel like we're doing the right thing, because it feels unfamiliar to us in the way that we have been living and moving. If you trust the process, if you value what is before you and who is before you, I'm telling you flat out, I ain't even finna hold no punches. I'm telling you, bro, out of love, flat out. God is literally giving you the opportunity for you to see and know what it feels like for what you think is your enemy. Because he ain't even your enemy.
He is a test. He is a lesson. It ain't got nothing to do with the shop. It ain't got nothing to do with Amanda. It got everything to do with you, your attachment, the weights that you're holding on to.
What am I attached to?
He disrespectful, and I'm holding on to that. But ain't that an attachment?
No, you can't come up
You
and shit.
see me
Listen, I'm not, nobody gonna come shit on me and I'm gonna say, thank you, may I have another. Okay, that's never gonna happen in this lifetime.
Okay, well then stay and keep the weight around
so
your
you saying I'm supposed to let people just shit on you?
I'm speaking from a whole different perspective, Tonka. That's what I'm speaking from. Yes, you're holding on to it. Regardless, it's going to be a whole bunch of people that's going to be disrespectful.
I take full responsibility for everything I've ever done in my life. I have never ran away from a situation or anything that I did. If I said, if I did it, I said it was my fault.
Answer this question for me. Did you have anything to do with the person that you feel disdainment for showing up in you and Amanda's life? Do you have?
Yeah, I bought the nigga here.
Oh, okay.
I welcomed him into my household. Come
Okay.
on, come. I love you, brother. Come be with us.
That ain't what I'm talking about.
I
need you to dig deeper, bro.
No, I agree with you. From the conversation, yes, I had a very, very big helping hand in this situation and being what it is.
Okay, so now, if in fact you have truly come to terms and you have looked at it and said, I planted a seed for, and what I did was help create an opportunity for some shit to show up in my life that right now I hate that it showed up. And now Source is saying, I could turn this into a blessing. But
the blessing is this, like she said, I came to her last night with her number. I didn't even know I made that amount of money. I didn't even know it. I was believing what we was saying to each other, like, oh, we ain't got this financially. When I sat down and did the math, I got this. In either case, whether this person comes or I pay for it and pay somebody, I'm still gonna pay money regardless. I'm still gonna pay money.
It don't have nothing to do with the shot. That's what you're not understanding what I'm saying. It don't have nothing to, this is mirror work.
You're right.
This is mirror work. Looking at yourself. What's the lesson? What's the lesson in this?
I don't know. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Why has this shown up in my, no, but you know. You talking about a whole bunch of stuff that you feel like you know, and you don't want to listen because you want to hold on to what you want to hold on to. Things are not going to show up how you expect them. We're here to learn. What's the lesson in this? Why has this been attracted into your life? That's what you have to ask yourself, because it wouldn't be in your life if you didn't attract the shit in the first place. Things will show up continuously into your life in different packages and different people. The same thing will show up over and over and over again until you pass the test. We all God, and so are you. But you have to realize there's light, there's dark. You have light, you have dark. He got disrespect, you got disrespect. We all can be disrespectful at some point in times. Okay, and the goal is still ascension. So you have to ask yourself, what is it that Tonka needs to do to have this weight released from his heart? Your ass should have picked the raise your hand to say what Amanda couldn't say last week. I forgive myself and others, releasing my heart from the weights of the past. You are holding on to the past. When you hold on to the past, you keep looking back. How can you move forward? That's all I'm saying. That's not just for you. That's for me. That's for everybody on here. Just go walk down the street with your head looking back and let me know what happened when you step off a curb. Let me know. Let me know what happened when you run into a parked car. How can you see your way clear if you looking back and you weighed down? That's a weight. That's a weight on your heart, dude. You just jumped up and ran out the room.
Oh, it's hot in here, man.
Yeah. I've been through that for you. Even we know that.
That's why you got up and walked out, because it's hot.
Yeah, because we was talking and I got even hotter. My ears got hot. I started sweating.
That's what I'm saying. He's hot internally.
It's still 70 degrees outside.
Yes, you're heated.
Yep, you're heated internally. That's your spirit and your. That's how strong you're holding on to this.
What is that doing to your organs? Yours, not his, not hers. Yours.
Say it.
We're here to guide. I'm a shaman, so I hear what's not being said. When people talk, I hear and I see what's not being said. I'm not here to make nobody take accountability for nothing. I'm not here to make nobody do anything. This is a shamanic mirror working course, journey through the chakras. It's going to show up, and it has shown up.
For sure.
If you want to deny any of y'all that it has shown up, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That got everything to do with you. I'm not gonna hold on to it. I still love you. I'm not looking at you in no different, in no way, shape, form, or fashion. What you choose for your life, you have a right to choose for your life. But also understand that you two are two individuals. You didn't come out the womb merged with Amanda. She didn't come out the womb merged with you. Y'all are together and y'all have a soul contract with each other, but y'all are two different individuals. Keep it 100. Do you do hair? Did you help her build her clientele?
Yes.
How?
I went out when we first started this. That was both of us marketing. That was me going to clubs, passing out flyers, bringing people in. When we first had the first salon, people didn't even know we were married.
When people came to me for the first time, they came to me for whatever reason they came to me, but I had to be the reason why they stayed.
Okay, I understand what
I
you're
was
saying.
the reason why I had people follow me for 20 years. If she was not good at what she did, it don't matter how many flyers you pass out.
You supported your wife.
You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm saying, did you support? Did you help build her clientele?
No.
Right? So do you work day to day in the shop, making sure that all the things work behind the scenes in the shop?
No.
Who's building that?
Amanda is right now.
Okay, so where you work, do she have stock in how you work, how you work with your employees, what you say to your employees? Do she have any stock in that?
No.
Right. Y'all individuals. You still have your own path. She still has her own path. At some point, if y'all want to work this out, y'all gonna have to come to some kind of compromise, because you can up and say, yeah, I'm just gonna let her go ahead and do it because it's just gonna be easier. No, that's what you say. But in the long run, you're going to hold on to that too in some way, shape, form, or fashion. So at this point, both of y'all got some decisions, you know, that y'all need to make. Y'all have some more conversations that y'all have to have from the heart, listening from the heart, and speaking from the heart. Y'all true, authentic self with no masks.
I'll say this and I'm totally done. Tonka, you can straighten me out with this statement that I'm getting ready to make to you. But I feel like you feel like you're losing a part of yourself.
No.
In fact, listen.
You don't even know what he about to say.
Right.
Well, you said, wait, I can say this. Since we started this, I can honestly say this is the first time in fucking 25 years that I know who I am, what I want, and the way that I am supposed to be, and I'm showing up for myself. I ain't never felt like this.
You're getting to know who you are.
Yes, I'm getting to know who I am, but I can honestly say, no, it's not. And when I say this, we've been down this road twice.
I was just getting.
What was Zeno getting ready to say? Tell me what Zeno was getting ready to say. Tell me.
I don't know, because I cut him off.
Because you did not listen with
You're
your
right.
heart. You heard a word, so your communication.
Can we please change the conversation? Because I can't hear y'all now. I can't hear you right now. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not even listening to you right now.
I know you're right.
I'm not listening. I'm telling you, I'm not. So the more we keep going down this road, it ain't doing that. But it ain't. I can't hear you right now because I'm in my feelings and my emotions, and I cannot hear you. So let's come back. Let's circle back around to another day when I am not in my feelings and emotions, and I can hear what y'all said.
No, we on the throat chakra now. So what we in here, you got to pick up on on yourself. We're not going back
Okay.
to throat chakra with your ass.
Well, that's
That's
fine. I'm
something-
good.
that's
Then let's
that's
end it.
that's something you gonna have to figure out, on your time. I'm just want to show you, right? You can choose to take it in or not, but your communication skills are showing up right now. Your throat chakra skills are showing up right now. You held on to a word and you responded to the word. That word was a trigger. That trigger has a root cause. It's deeper than what you think it is.
Right.
So when you ready to go in and really see what the cause of the issue is, then every answer to every question that you ever want to ask is already inside of you. You just got to know how to tap in to get it. So if you need to go back through your mirror work, then go back through your mirror work. Your heart chakra is connected to your throat chakra. Your throat chakra and your heart chakra is also connected to the organs in your body, yours. You hold on to that. You hold on to the blockages if that's what you continue to want to do. Block yourself up if that's what you want. But if you want to be free, walk down the path to freedom. But you got to be the one to do the work. Amanda can't do it for you. Can't nobody do it for you. That's something that you got to do it for yourself. I still love you, homie.
Yes.
Ain't no love lost.
Yep.
And hopefully I'm gonna see your ass on here next week.
All right.
While we talk about the third eye chakra. You feel me?
Yeah.
And if you can't receive it, let me say this. The recording will be put in the course. Maybe you can listen to it then.
Right.
Ultimately, you have to ask yourself, have you ever had any problems with your lungs? Have you ever had any problems with your heart? You ever had any problem with your teeth? You had any issues with your gums?
Your throat.
Your throat. You had issues with your blood pressure. If you had issues with your immune system, things you got to ask yourself. You can deny it all you want. Ask yourself those questions and then see how it show up. All right.
We love you.
Love you. We love both of y'all.
We love y'all.
I'm waiting on to unmute so they can say it back.
Right? I would love you too.
What y'all think this is?
It's all
Right,
good.
right.
It's all
Try
good.
to find them buttons. I can't find them.
It's all good.
I know you love us, Amanda. I'm talking about Tonka ass.
I said I love you too, man.
Oh, I didn't hear you. I heard you.
I love you too.
I
You see that?
appreciate it. You better. All right. Mute the mic. Listen here. I would like to hear from Alex.
Ha!
Did you have a conversation with someone this week? And if you did, how did it go?
What's up? Yes, I did. It was with my mom. Surprisingly so. The person that cherishes me the most, that I'm a saint for her. And apparently she has a specific picture of me in her mind. It's all unaccepted. I feel like this week, like yesterday, really, what I opened up. Ego is a motherfucker, hides right where, least expected. I never expected to be at my mom's, the closest person to me. You've been saying that how blockages come in the lungs, mouth, and all that stuff. And now I look back, shit, I was born in like year and a half. I had a pneumonia where the lungs were filled up with water and they had to pump the fucking water out. So couldn't really breathe, which affected my breathing till I was a teenager. And I couldn't, when I was reading, I could not breathe. I would have long inhale and then not breathe until I cannot hold the breath anymore and then only exhale. So I would have rapid reading issues, which could cause which caused my father really whooping my ass for that physically and abusing me physically for the grades that I brought because of that. I was reading pretty slow and that caused that. So my parents, I feel like, throughout this week, it was a lot of child work, really deep, like 6-year-old 6-year-old me. This was that far back, which is 30 years ago, where, yeah, I didn't really know what to write this week because I didn't know what was happening this week. A lot of things were happening. For the last 3 months, I've been telling them what I've been doing and been telling them this is the first time in my life that I actually start to find something really, what really excites me about this life, that I don't know what it is, but with every day that I'm living forward, it uncovers more and gives me excitement about the next day. And I really, it's the first thing that I actually said out loud to my closest friend, that this is something I would like to do. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I'm pretty good at this stuff. And this Monday starts, do my meditation. Meditations are incredible. The guided meditation had a rain in it, and I get to meditate every morning on the balcony of the apartment, which oversees the pond. And it was summer shower rain with a thunder, and I turned off the guided meditation. I was under the rain for 2 hours, just melting. I don't even have anything to say because everybody's smarter than me. I'm usually the dumbest one. Oh, I'm not even supposed to say this stuff. Oh, I'm not supposed to even do this stuff. Why can I not be like everybody else? Why can I not be how my friend, how my father's classmate's son is? My father told me to my face. And then coming back to 36 years old me, I'm having conversation with my father about, he asked my mom about the spiritual stuff. And he goes, instead of asking me, what the fuck is it am I doing? He straight away goes into assumption and then projects, hey, you need to stop fucking doing all that crazy shit. You've been going too deep. This is too deep. Why the fuck you need to do this stuff? It's not for you. What are you, a scientist? Scientists doing that stuff. You're not that smart. You're not scientist smart. And speaking of Tonka, level of disrespect, right? I could have had it like I back in the day would have it. I'm fucking 36-year-old man. I fucking babysit your ass when I was 9. You said, please go to work to support the family. And then your best friend comes, you having a dinner with him after the whole summer of me working for you. I didn't get paid a single fucking dollar because it was all for family. And I understood my role. Absolutely. Family first. And a level of disrespect that came in when I'm a 9-year-old boy, sacrificed my summer, which is life of the school. So that's where you get to live. And I sacrificed to working for my family. And then when your best friend comes and you say, yeah, I did everything alone. My son kind of in and out was helping me out. And I overheard that conversation. And I held that conversation for very many years in my soul, where it was I feel like these are the type of conversations where decisive conversations, where they hit that I'm a worthless piece of shit. And like my own blood does not recognize my greatness. And I didn't recognize my greatness because all that shit got fucking piled up on top of me. And looking back, realizing, holy shit, I actually not a weak-minded, weak, tiny human being, not as fast, athletic as my father wanted, because the whole family was about Greco-Roman wrestling or soccer. We have my grandpa is a fucking champion, blah 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 blah. But I never get to experience any of that because I'm not good enough to experience any of that. I don't have a wrestler's body. I don't have a soccer player's speed. But yet I was the one making decisions on for the benefit of my family, that my family cannot afford for me to take a chance to be a soccer player. So I have to bow down to the family, remove my identity, remove my ego, remove my everything, remove my dreams, and just dig in until fucking everybody's safe. And then I'm having this conversation with my father when I'm 36, and instead of asking me, hey son, I heard you fucking doing all this crazy shit, so-called crazy, can you share more and tell me what you're doing? And he goes, you need to stop doing that. And this is too much. Go be a coach, a soccer coach. I laughed so hard. This was the biggest compliment my father could have given me in my 30 fucking
Yes.
6 years. I was like, Dad, you have no idea. With your backwards view on me, but that's the role you play. You play the role of the villain. I recognized that about a month ago, and I became very grateful to every villain in my life, to all my friends that don't really understand me anymore, that blame me for shit because I'm just a projection of them. I'm the light that they're seeking within them. And they project in their darkness on me, and it is my job to reflect that darkness the fuck out and put light into them. So I got defense. I said, Mom, you're repeating the cycle of traumatized, that you traumatized me. Now you're throwing it on the cat. I saw it through a cat. She said the same words to the cat as they would say to me. No, don't do this. No, don't do that. No, 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 no. Soviet Union generation parents. No to fucking everything. You're not a human. You don't have an identity. So through the mom, I had the conversation. Last week, as there was the previous chakra in the morning, happened in the morning. I was sitting just playing with my niece. We're having breakfast. When I say I do some kind of miracle work with my hands by accident, I pulled out some kind of entity out of my 6-year-old niece by just playing with her. I tell my mom that, hey, this is what just happened. And niece told me herself that that thing is no longer with her, that she's been seeing for the last 6 years every single fucking night. I was like, Mom, the fuck, look at, I did it like this. And 3 days later, she goes, yeah, maybe you should be a coach. So I take it as a compliment. So yeah, that's thank you. Yeah,
I know.
man,
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
man.
As
whew.
long as you have the understanding that what your parents were projecting on you was 9 times out of 10 what they experienced. It was what
Man.
was coming at them. It is the mindset of, hey, you know what? If I've been told I'm not going to be shit and I'm not smart and I'm not this, then what I produce and comes after me, hey, this is the stock that you come from because this mentality was breeded and pounded into me. So when you show reflections of greatness, the automatic innate signature and response that's been placed in them is the response. Sometimes our lives alone, not our words. Sometimes our lives, when we live our lives authentically in front of the world and before the world, will bring more healing than we ever could if we tried to sit down and speak to them and break down what it is that we do and the understanding that we have. Just watch my life. Let my life minister to you. And it relieves you of that burden and that stress.
Yeah, that's what I
thing
figured.
that feels it sits on the shoulders of the person that is walking this walk because it's a narrow path that we're walking.
I don't know where I'm going. I no longer wish to fulfill anybody's expectations.
It's a good thing that you had the revelation that it was some generational things that was showing up. The whole projection thing. Remember I said that when they speak from their mirror. They speak from, their perspective. And I'm glad that you were able to see it for what it was because of the work that you have been putting in to clearly know yourself, to be accountable to yourself, learning who you are and experiencing the things that you like, the things that you don't like, tapping into the root causes of some issues. Like that's how you truly free yourself. You just said you were able to pull a entity out of your 6-year-old niece that said that this has been with her for 6 years.
Yeah,
Children
right,
are
right.
closer to where we come
Yeah.
from. So their gifts
Yeah, they're more
are
tapped in.
stronger. They're more tapped in. So a lot of times, you know, adults will be like, man, ain't nothing attached to you. When you ain't dealing with nothing, you tripping, you messing with their imagination.
You know what's funny?
Mhm.
Sorry to interrupt. I just have it right here. This is what she drew me right after. This is what she drew me right after. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Like, what the fuck?
yeah,
No, yeah.
yeah. That was
Like,
your
without me
confirmation. That's all
asking,
you needed. That's all you
without me
needed was
asking.
information. I love
Yeah,
that.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's beautiful. So you know she meant that
yeah.
from her heart and from her soul. You help release some things and
Every day. And I was asking her, Rochelle gave me the clue of feeling what it is, of being that big. It felt like that entity that was on you, that big with big ass eyes. It was eating her alive every single day in a very grotesque way, a 6-year-old child. And yeah,
mm,
cool shit. I cannot believe that this is
Yes.
happening.
Yes.
yeah. The lighter you get, the more you tap into your gifts. Period.
This was the biggest compliment from my parents for not believing into me, and I knew I'm on the right path. And I feel like should be a sign to all of us that all the people that say you're wrong, you're on the right path. That's indication that you're making progress. More shit comes up, you're making progress.
That's
Mhm.
it.
And it's an opportunity. Stop looking at things as obstacles. Because you look at them as obstacles, that's what they're going to become.
Wow.
Look at it as an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity and it'll show up in a different light.
Yeah.
Heather.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you again.
Thank you so
much.
Valencia, can you repeat after me? Unmute your mic and repeat after me. I trust my inner voice.
I trust my inner voice,
and it always guides me to truth.
and it always guides me to truth.
Okay. Thank you. Brandon, if you can unmute your mic. Repeat after me. Speaking my truth
Speaking my truth
liberates me and inspires others.
liberates me and inspires others.
And speaking my truth
Speaking my truth liberates me and inspires others.
How you feel about that?
It definitely hits home for several reasons. My hesitancy to speak some of my truth publicly, being concerned about how I be viewed and categorized and things of that sort. But I've had this desire to do so because I know it helps me.
Dude,
Yeah.
you've been helping so many people. Just, you know what I'm saying? Just speaking your truth already in community is showing you that.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people on this call that can say that you helped them in some way, shape, form, or fashion with some of the stuff that you said and speaking your truth.
Yes. I'm saying that we appreciate and respect the level of love and support that you guys moved in, especially this week for y'all brother and sister. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, it's all real this way. Trust me.
Yes.
Thank you. Angie, if you can unmute your mic and repeat after me. My voice is strong.
My voice is strong,
Powerful and heard.
powerful and heard.
Again.
My voice is strong, powerful and heard.
That's good.
Ooh-wee.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Rochelle, my voice is a sacred tool.
My voice is a sacred tool
of healing and transformation.
Wow.
of healing and transformation.
Say it again. My voice is a sacred tool.
My voice is a sacred tool of healing and transformation.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. That's good. That's good right there.
Mhm.
Amanda. Amanda, if you can unmute and repeat after me. I honor the words of my soul
I honor the words of my soul
and speak them with love.
and speak them with love.
I honor the words of my soul and speak them with love.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I honor the words of my soul and I speak them with love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tonka, if you can repeat after me. I release fear
I release fear
and express myself freely.
and express myself freely. I release fear and express myself freely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more time for me.
I release fear and express myself freely.
I want to say something. Alex said something in the chat earlier as it relates to you, Tonka. And he said, hey, man, Tonka, it's on your t-shirt. It blew me away when he said that. Because I looked up, I was like, what the hell is on Tonka t-shirt?
Just do it.
Ooh, wee. I had to share that.
You got eyes
You
on
got
you.
people in this room that love you, man.
It's real.
And
I'm pulling for you, my nigga. Like, yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh no, that's for sure.
That's from another real one, Tonk. So
Yeah.
we love you, bro.
Yes. Thank you, Tonka. Alex, repeat after me. I speak my truth
I speak my truth
with unwavering confidence.
with unwavering confidence. I speak my truth without unwavering confidence. I speak my truth with unwavering confidence and with an accent. I speak my truth with unwavering confidence. Yes.
Yeah.
Zandra, I'm gonna have you repeat something that I had somebody else repeat. Because this one is strictly for you. You ready? My voice is a sacred tool.
My voice is a sacred tool
Of healing and transformation.
of healing and transformation.
My voice is a sacred tool.
My voice is a sacred tool of healing and transformation.
Yeah.
Your voice sounds like a sacred tool.
Yes, it does.
Don't it, y'all?
Thank you.
Because it is.
Yeah.
It don't
You
sound
need to
like
put
that.
out a training. You need to put out a training CD, audio training disc.
Yeah. Like Siri 2.0, maybe with some other
Exactly.
stuff, like instructional stuff on
Yeah.
some other things. But yeah.
Yeah. Going around here talking about don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Man.
Don't judge the book by its cover.
Do not. Okay. You can catch these hands. Oh man.
Remember that your voice is a sacred tool, right? Of healing and transformation. All of us, our voices are a sacred tool. If you guys can mute, bow your head and close your eyes.
Man.
As we close this sacred space, we give thanks for the voices that have been set free. May our words always carry wisdom, healing, and truth. May the silence of the past give way to the power of our expression. We walk forward unafraid, standing in our voice, trusting our truth. As we prepare to enter the realm of vision, may our eyes be open with divine wisdom. May we see beyond illusion and embrace the clarity within. With gratitude, we seal this space in love and truth. Ashe, Aho.
Ashe, Aho.
All right, now.
Woo,
Thank y'all
man.
so much for giving us y'all time. We went in this week. We went in long. We kept y'all up late. I know y'all gonna dive into bed like you diving off a diving board. Because I
Yes.
know I am too. Okay.
We appreciate y'all. We love y'all.
Love
And
y'all
thank you
too.
for showing up.
Yes.
Thank
Just
y'all.
authentically where and who y'all are. We appreciate that.
Mhm.
Because it's all conducive for healing.
Yes.
Trust that. Yeah.
We appreciate y'all.
All right. Love y'all. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Rest. Get rest.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yes.